gosh, do I live for that all week long? Yes, I do. It sounds so sincere. Welcome back to Moore Up North. I'm Shannon Moore, and I can't even tell you how exciting it is for me that we're getting a chance to interview Vic Fischer, and he is the Thomas Jefferson of Alaska. He is, you know, I had notes, the printer wasn't working, so pretty much this is it. I love Vic, I do, he's amazing. And welcome to the show, Vic Fischer.
Thank you, Shannon, it's a delight to be with you.
Stop being so adorable, I have to do a show. So, there are so many things that you've done. Writing the Constitution, you were a delegate,
There were 54 others who helped.
And none of them are here.
True.
But you are. And for a plethora of reasons, I'm sure. So one of the things I really wanted you to come in and talk about today, because we could do hours and hours, we could just do the Vic Fischer Up North show. But what I wanted you to come in and talk about, yesterday Mike Chenault decided he would reintroduce the death penalty to Alaska. And this is something that's been brought up year after year. It's sort of red meat that's thrown to the rabid voters, and they really seem to appreciate that. But in my research on the death penalty in Alaska, you were one of the people that helped abolish it. And I think that oftentimes we don't understand the history of why we have the laws we have. And can you talk a little bit about the history of the death penalty in the territory of Alaska, and at what point you decided that that just wasn't going to work?
Well, Alaska had a death penalty since time immemorial. I don't know under what law, but it was under federal law, and it became part of territorial law. And in 1957, in the 57 legislature, Warren Taylor, who was from Fairbanks, an attorney, an older fellow, who had also been a member of the Constitutional Convention, and he and I were sitting together in the House of Representatives, and one day we started talking about the death penalty, and Warren said that it's time to abolish the death penalty because it's been used mostly against people of Native origin, of blacks, of poor people, and that it's unfair. There hadn't been any executions for a number of years, and he figured this is a good time. And so it was really Warren's leadership, and I was a co-sponsor with him on repealing the death penalty. So
when you were talking about the abuses in the minorities that this happened, we had 8 people put to death under territory law. 3 of them were Native, 2 of which didn't speak English. The last 2 that were put to death were both African American.
Right, and there was also a Serbian immigrant who knew no English. And in a number of these cases, they were obviously not guilty. And the penalties were just thrown at them, and very quickly there was hardly a judicial process, and they were executed without real consideration, without a significant evidence. Somebody was killed, so therefore somebody had to hang, and somebody was hung regardless.
And they weren't very good at it, as I understand.
No, they had problems.
I know one person was decapitated during hanging, and then the next guy took 9 minutes. I mean, it was just horrific. So when you're looking at what's happening now, I know there's some complaints because in the state of Alaska, life imprisonment doesn't always mean life imprisonment.
But under the law, there can be life imprisonment without parole. And we've seen convictions just within the last 12 months of murderers who received multiple concurrent sentences that they'll never get out.
Right.
So it's, you know, you don't have to kill them to keep them off the street.
And then we see the Michelle Linehan case was flipped. It was flipped, and it's really hard to overturn something if you've done something as drastic as the death penalty. I mean, you can't bring somebody back after that. So.
I think that is true, that many times innocent people have been executed. To me, the fact that innocent people are executed is just one small element, one small argument against the death penalty. I think that there are fundamental issues that we as a civilized nation shouldn't be out there with Iran and China, where the state, the government, executes individuals, kills. And killing somebody who is convicted of murder or heinous crimes is just immoral, so far as I'm concerned. Civilized society shouldn't be doing that. It's different from wartime when the soldiers are trained to kill the enemy and so on, but it isn't the same thing as going through judicial process.
So this isn't so much about what heinous things people have done who have been caught and convicted. This is more about who we are.
So far as I'm concerned, yes. I think it's an issue of, are we moral people? And it's interesting that, you know, the Catholic Church and other religions have actively been opposing the death penalty. And in fact, the Catholic Church has lobbied in previous legislative sessions against bringing the death penalty back to Alaska. And I'm with them on that one.
So what do you see coming up for Alaska? Do you think this is something that's just the red meat to the voters? Do you think this is just what comes up every election cycle, seemingly?
Well, the bill was actually introduced by the Speaker of the House last year, and it was considered in the House Judiciary Committee. They held hearings. The bill advanced, moved out of the Judiciary Committee by a vote of 3 do pass, 3 do not pass, and 1 abstained or didn't express an opinion. And so now it just moved into the Finance Committee. The House may well, for political reasons, pass the bill. I'm sure that it cannot pass the Senate. I think that the Senate is not as radical as the House. They're not going to jump just because the Speaker of the House wants the bill passed.
Right. So hopefully it won't go anywhere at all.
I sure hope not. I think that this is, over the past several years, a number of states have repealed the death penalty. And others are considering doing that right now. And it just sort of unimaginable to me that we, after 50 years of statehood, when this issue has not come up, when it has not, I mean, it's come up, it's not been a problem, it's not turned the state inside out, as other states are eliminating the death penalty, we would bring back capital punishment. It's just preposterous.
It's a little rough on our...
Thank you.
Yeah, I think from the outside, we've got the reputation of being a little slow at times. Certainly with the reputation that you know, Sarah Palin's brought to the nation as a representative. I think, you know, yeah, you're absolutely right. Everyone else is trying to turn it back, and we're trying to go back 53 years now. So
well, and especially when it's been proven time and again that the death penalty does not discourage commitment of crimes. It has had no negative effect on the crime rate. If anything, it has had the other effect. But Texas keeps killing people left and right. Other states like Georgia are practicing capital punishment, and their crime rate hasn't gone down, it's gone up.
Right, and it's never lost on me that, you know, for all the religiosity that drives this sometimes, You know, the people that go to church and sit there with the cross in front of them on Sunday mornings, it hasn't occurred to them that that cross was actually a death penalty.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the insistence of the church by the state. So, you know, why mimic that? Thank you so much for being here.
Well, Shannon, it's a delight. Thank you.